What is up, you guys? I can't use that.
No, you can. What's up, you guys?
It's StarlitMia and Hunter here today with your podcast.
Oh yeah, realistically online in the house.
Oh yeah. That's my. I have had way too much caffeine. I'm definitely in the middle of an overdose. It's bad. And I ate a tamale and a PB&J, and I drank some water to try to combat the amount of caffeine in my body right now.
I have a Mountain Dew Baja Citrus, not a sponsor. We have no sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor realistically online, you can contact us at our email address attached to our YouTube channel.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm opening the topics. I have two topics today. Oh, you were gonna do the Backrooms?
I have two. Well, I was gonna say I have two topics as well. One slightly related to yours because it's a similar thing, and then the other one just because. Yeah, I guess I'll mention it. I was going to talk about the Backrooms, the film that I just saw last night.
Are there multiple films, or is it just the one film?
So it's a movie, and then what we saw is the extended cut, which I think is called the Backrooms Everything Must Go edition, which has 15 or 16 extra minutes after the credits. I'll explain the reason it's called that after whenever we're talking about that. Yeah. But it's going to be just a little, a realistically online look at, a normal person's familiarity. Well, normal, but, slightly online person's familiarity with, what it was before they made a movie about it. And, just generally being stoked that is even something that happened.
I don't know everything about the Backrooms. I know there are people that have gone down rabbit holes. Oh, I'm so excited because I have not gone down the Backrooms rabbit hole, and I know of people who have.
I'll pull some of it up, but I was gonna say I'm not quite. The thing is, I don't have an absolutely insanely strong opinion about it. But I also.
Audio viewers were mewing.
Yeah. I don't have an insanely strong opinions on should I just get into it and immediately start talking about it? Or should we go over this first?
Just go. Because mine is going to be very spoilerish, so I think we should put it toward the end.
Should mine will be spoilerish for the Backrooms movie, unless you don't want spoilers. We didn't talk about.
But you can go over the Backrooms first, right? Before you go over the movie.
Oh yeah. That's fine. I was just gonna say I can go over some general info. Well, because it'll be getting into spoilers at least for the. So just be aware, viewers, there will be spoilers for the Backrooms and later for another movie.
But not right now. So just we'll tell you, and then
we'll tell you before spoilers. Yeah, we'll let you know. But basically, to talk about the background of it, I could pull up the actual post, but the Backrooms is a thing spawned from. There's a post online. I don't know if it was specifically first on Reddit or 4chan or wherever. I think it was a 4chan post. I don't know. That's not a website I use, so it would have been a screenshot I saw on Reddit or Twitter or somewhere else. But it's a lit up office that looks just kind of old and empty and weird. And I'll just read off the original post because this is literally all of it that was the initial post. And it's that picture. Jason, if you're editing, if you want to just toss the picture from that post up while I say this, just for the vibes. It's just that picture alongside the caption. If you're not careful and you clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented, empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. And that is the whole post, just a freaky idea of an extra planar space that's endless 80s or 90s decrepit office filled with, sometimes it's just completely empty, sometimes it's filled with furniture and random stuff. And from that post, the internet spawned, there's a ton of games you can play on Steam.
Yeah.
There's pages and pages and pages of lore that people have come up with. I am somewhat in the camp of what I believe people would refer to as an original post or original idea purist, where I like the original idea of just like endless sprawling like liminal space. Liminal space being like for people who aren't like super familiar with the concept, it's basically like spaces that are not meant to be like comfortable, but are meant to be like places that people are for like limited or like certain amounts of time. If you like Google liminal spaces, you'll see like at this point it's nearly lost its meaning on the internet because of how much like there's been like horror and stuff built around it, like the Backrooms. But like think like office building or like hallways, corridors, like an empty mall would be like places where it's like a liminal space. It's a place built for people, but like a thing like if the mall is empty, it's very unwelcoming. It's very ominous. There are things about it that like you don't want to stay there, but you'd be there. You'd go there. And so the original idea of it just being like endless, like kind of dingy looking liminal space that maybe there's something else there. You don't know. Is it another person? Are they insane because they've been stuck there? Like it doesn't, it implies maybe there's something else in there, but it doesn't specifically say what exactly that is. And I love that idea because I think that's the scary thing. I think that's the
Mhm.
thing that's freaky and that's like really psychologically horrific and interesting. Um, but the internet
That's
took that.
why
And
there's a certain movie that never shows the entity that is chasing them.
oh boy, and will I talk about that as a concept as well later? Oh my
Okay.
gosh. I was literally talking to Carlos earlier about how I like, sorry, I was wiping something off my screen and now the webcam was on the top of it. But um, what happened with that as like a concept is that similar to something like SCP, where it's like just a whole bunch of like different people writing stories within the same like lore or fiction, and the whole thing is that like it's all canon, but also like at some point that becomes untenable when it's thousands of people writing stuff. So something like the SCP wiki that does that. Or like the SCP files or whatever the page is that it actually keeps that on there as like where people are writing. I believe they have like some amounts of like moderation and like stuff to like approve posts and make sure that it's like up to the quality of what they would want to like be within that. Whereas Backrooms is like a concept was kind of taken by just like not having a central like this person determines what is and is not canon or this group or this website. So I don't. I could pull up some of the information about it while we're chatting about various things, but I don't know the full extent because I kind of didn't care for what fans
Uh
like
huh.
chose to build off of it with, because a lot of it was like coming up with like different levels of it where it's like this level is like cisterns and caves and this level is like this and then coming up with like a classification of like in this level there's these monsters that do this and then in this level there's this separate group of these type of
Uh
monsters that
huh.
do this, and I think that that misses the point in a way that makes it just kind of
Yeah, that
uninteresting
makes it
and just
very
kind of like
gamey. Like very.
yeah, it becomes like creepypasta slop. Like it's very like it's very the people who are like, there's a cabin out in the woods, there's a big mansion where Slender Man and Jeff the Killer and all those people live together. It's like it's giving that. It's not it feels very unserious once you're like, there's a moat of crocodiles around a castle inside of a cave beneath and this is all I don't know about any of these parts of it because this is just the part that I'm completely uninterested in.
Yeah.
Um, and there's other people that have very strong opinions on it who are like really purists of it and have said like these people ruined the idea or whatever. And I think it's just all fun. Like if you enjoy that part of it, like
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
if
not
you
the
don't
part that
like it,
I
then just like don't consume it because it's not hurting anyone. Like it's not like somebody's
yeah.
making deep fakes of, someone's body and putting them in. I mean, I'm sure people are, but like that would be harmful. Whereas what this whole like, in my world, my OC's name is.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like and in this one, my OC could survive to the fifth layer of the Backrooms, where there's like this and this happening, but probably wouldn't be able to get past. Yeah, it's just like a fun story writing experience for like young story writers or
Yeah.
just people who are like wanting to write like fan fiction type stuff. Because that's like that type of thing is kind of there's like an overlap between like large community driven fiction and fan fiction. So like I understand that and I don't mind that. And even though I'm
Isn't it?
talking about that sarcastically in a way that makes it sound dismissive. Like, you do you, just not my thing for it. But
Yeah.
you had a tangent
As
now.
an adult, I have so much respect for like OCs now. Cause like growing up, I was like, that's so effing cringe. Like, I hate that. Like, I would never do that. Like, ew. And then now I'm like, I want an OC because people like
Mhm.
I don't think you realize like yes, those were cringe growing up, but like as an adult in the adult world, OCs are like freaking Last of Us Part One. What's her name? And you know, OCs are like original.
Every
Like
yeah every character that is written is someone's
is
OC.
someone's
Yeah,
OC.
like
Yeah,
the
and so like
cast of Lord of the Rings is like J.R.R. Tolkien's OCs. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
like
like
I
that
think
isn't
the word
inherently like
OC is so cringe, but like, but when you think it, yeah, like every
I
piece
think
of
it's
media
the
at some point was an OC, and then like you know you may get spin-offs and stuff, and that stuff does well at the box
Mhm.
office, but like I have such a respect for like original characters in the sense of like if we're
Yeah,
about to get into obsession like this is a completely
that's
new
one of them we're going to talk about as well.
like horror movie genre like these aren't existing characters or existing you know like it's I don't
Yeah.
know as an adult now I'm like I want to make an OC for myself like a little animated like 2 frames of open mouth closed mouth on my stream when I don't want to turn my cam on you know.
Yeah, it's not just a. There's a. Is that's not being a PNG tuber or whatever, is
Yeah,
it?
that is
That's
a PNG.
okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's
It's kind
VTubers
of
and like the
yeah. Well,
rigging
that's
of
like a
that
persona.
is
Like a different thing.
crazy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
those are one. Well,
but like,
because an OC is just like any original character you come up with. Usually, if you're calling them
yeah,
an OC, it's in fan fiction. Otherwise,
yeah,
that's just a character. Like
yeah. And I also like I would
just the
not. I
context.
never consumed fanfic or like any of that growing up, and like I don't think I still will because it just feels weird to me. But like now as an adult, I'm like those people now have like writing experience. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and I've tried writing a lot because I had always wanted to write like stories or novels or
Mhm.
something, and I will say I've never gotten terribly far in doing it. I think I'm just bad at the writing part, like the sitting down and doing it. Which the trick
Yeah.
to that is you just sit down and you do it. But like,
Yeah.
God, it's insufferable.
It's
I hate it.
really hard. Yeah,
Um,
I wrote short stories growing up. So I guess you could say
I
like
read a
I
lot of
had
short stories.
OCs, but like I definitely did not call them that because the label itself is what makes it cringe.
Well,
But like
I've definitely written like are you familiar with or have you ever seen the anime Bleach at all? Where it's the one guy
I
with
don't
the
know
orange
if
hair. Oh,
I've
just hit
seen
my
it
mic.
yeah, or I know of it, but I don't. I might have seen the
I'll
first
say
episode alone, and I
it's
don't.
very like a 30 something year old man would be like Bleach. That's my favorite anime, and probably no other group. Um, because it was just like cool when I was younger, and it was like the
Hmm.
hip. It was like you'd tune in on like what was it, Toonami late at night on Cartoon Network, and you'd see like the coolest shit you've ever seen, and that would be like one of those type of shows. Like I had like a neighbor kid that was like, "Yo, watch this episode of this anime," and I was like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen, and this will fundamentally change the way that I like engage with fiction now." Very cool. Um, I've definitely written some Bleach fan fiction before. Like that's
Wow.
it's not
Yeah, I think.
I don't know if I have like copies of any of it, but it was like I had some very edgy like I had some like characters where it would be like this is a character that only like an edgy teenager could come up
I
with.
didn't
Like
write
there's
it, but I was so young that I had seen the commercials for Avatar and I never actually watched it growing up.
oh my
But just
god,
I
crazy.
had my own like imaginary world fanfic, if you will, based off like
Yeah.
I would play outside.
Have you seen it now?
Yes,
Like
as
have
an
you
adult
oh
now.
thank
And it
God, it's
is
great. It's
different than
phenomenal.
my like imagined world, but
Fair enough.
like
Well, I never
it's
saw every
my
episode as a child.
yeah, my
It definitely went
imagined
different for
world
them.
was more like a fairy tale, which I watched
Mhm.
later. But like my
Oh, sure.
imagined world in my brain is like fairy tale. It's a bunch of wizards and like they have like,
Mhm.
but like my imaginary world that I would play outside was like I was like a fire. Like you know, like it was the
Firebender.
elements because I had heard,
Absolutely.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like a firebender, but then I was like called a rare, and so I actually could bend
Ooh. Oh
both
my god.
fire and air. And so
That's the only the avatars thing. You gotta watch the show. Yeah,
I
can do
know, and now
that.
that I've
Yeah.
seen the show, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, that's like it. There are differences, but so similar. And like, honestly, mine was like Divergent. I've seen Divergent is like the worst movie I've ever seen in my whole life, and
I don't
like,
think I've seen it, but I
oh my
what's that? Give me the
gosh,
plot synopsis. I think I know what it is, but I don't remember.
the
Off the top.
plot line, like the idea is so great, and what they
And then
did
we'll
with
pull it back
it
to the
is
Backrooms
so
eventually.
shit. Yeah. So basically, like, there's four houses. They're not houses, but like, there's four communities, factions. They're called factions. There's four factions, and you grow up in one based on like what your parents' faction is, and then when you turn like 16 or something, you take a test, and then you have to choose the faction that you're gonna be in. And like, the four factions are all like conjoined. They're like states. Like, imagine like they're the four states of this nation.
Sure.
And so, but like, once you turn 16, you move over to that faction and you function in that faction, and you don't have like any relation, basically. You don't interact with any of the other factions. I guess unless you're like in upper like government. I don't freaking know, because yeah. So, but yeah, and so the factions are like Dauntless, which is like the brave. They're like the Marines. They're like brave, dumb infantry. And then there's like the smart people, and then the charitable people, and then one more that nobody remembers.
You're like, I would like to be the strong ones.
It was basically like
not,
houses.
It's the fucking.
But
Harry
you get
Potter.
to choose
My
your
God.
house. But it's also, it's supposed to be like more like, what am I saying? Like, it's supposed to be like Hunger Games meets Harry Potter, I think. Like,
That sounds very. That's
Yeah,
aggressively fan fiction. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the idea for it was so awesome, because I love stuff like that. I would have eaten it up if it were any good, but it was so trash because it ended up just being like a romance between like a 16-year-old girl and like a 27-year-old dude, and I'm like, this is icky. I can't watch this.
No, I'm not a fan of that.
I don't think they're actually that far in age, but like, watching it, they look that far in age.
Fair. Yeah, if they get actors that are like not, yeah,
Like a 14-year-old
like,
girl and like a 30-year-old man.
You can play a high schooler, right? And it's 30-year-old guy every
and it's
time.
The Breakfast Club, and the guy's like graying in one of the scenes.
It's like, yeah, it's me,
Okay,
guy
so
from high
Backrooms.
school. Backrooms, back to that, yeah. Now we'll probably get into some spoilers for the movie a little bit. At least, like, I think plot spoilers maybe like minor, but it's mostly going to be like spoilers on like portrayal and aesthetic of it, because that's I think the most important thing, which will probably inform a lot of how I talk about it. So hilarious thing.
Jason's gonna put the time stamp for you to skip to here.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere. Okay, now I'll talk about Backroom with some spoilers and stuff. So, funny thing, me and Zoe got to the movie late because we were running some errands beforehand, and mine took longer than I expected. So we walked in progress, which I won't lie, I don't know if we missed like 1 or like 5 minutes of it, but it felt extremely appropriate to come in during this, because it was like found footage, guy in like hazmat suit, like clearly a researcher of some kind, already in the back rooms, like running from something. And I was like, freaky. We gotta sit down, we gotta just watch what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the first sequence is like this dude trying to find his bearings, who has like gotten lost in there, who works for, all we know is he works for some kind of company, and that company is doing some kind of like experiments or exploration into this thing, the Backrooms.
Mm-hmm.
That, as I previously described from the original post, looks very similar to how that's described, where it's just like
The
kind of weird
white.
structure-wise, yeah, but like generally that kind of like office stuff. He gets jump scared by some things, like a random seagull flies in and he freaks out because he was running from something. He's trying to use like a ham radio or something to communicate with people, not getting through. And then he hears something and he runs into a room that looks like it's going to be outside, but it's just like wallpaper that looks a little bit outdoors like it's like beach themed wallpaper.
Okay.
And
like
he's
an
trying to
Animal
like get through the
Crossing
door.
when you can put like the
Yes, yeah, exactly like that. Can't get through the door, turns back around to run back through the only entrance to the room, and whatever the thing is grabs him, camera cuts out. I think then we see like someone in that like facility that is sending people in there to like explore it. we hear more about that later. But then it cuts to our actual characters who it's crazy that I'm not going to be able to remember the names of the characters because I think that the characters and plot that they like that we're with for most of the movie, I think are not amazing and are not terribly important to like the experience of it because I really think that the experience of it boils down to do they portray it correctly and like do they not even necessarily correctly but do they get the vibe right, do they get the feeling of like the thing that's scary about the concept right, which I think they I will immediately say I think they do it very well. But and Zoe is texting me the names of the characters because she heard me
Thank you,
say
Zoe.
thank you,
Always a
Zoe.
woman.
Thank you, my dear. You could text me the name of the other main character too if you had a second. But there's this. Bless you. Um,
Thank you.
bless you. My goodness. There's this guy Clark who we're following, not from the very immediate beginning, but I think we go pretty quickly into. He's in therapy, and we're seeing an interaction between him and his therapist. His
Before
wife kicked
or
him.
after the Backrooms? We don't know.
It's like backroom stuff, and then it's immediately into like
Okay,
this
so
guy
it's a
in
flashback.
therapy. Well,
Oh, we don't know.
no, we don't know
Okay,
yet
it's a
because
flash
all
forward.
we know is it's a
We don't
different
know.
guy. It's a different guy on the camera, and then suddenly it's different characters that we don't know.
Okay.
Zoe has texted me the other names of the characters. So it is Clark, who is our perspective character for a solid chunk of it, and his therapist, Dr. Mary Klein, who is one of our other perspective characters. Um, she is going through trying to help him through. He's been kicked out of his house by his wife. He owns like a failing furniture store, and he sounds like he's just kind of like a miserable, kind of sad, kind of a loser of a guy a little bit. Besides like owning his furniture store, like they do like a role play exercise of like the night that his wife kicked him out, where the therapist is like, "I want to be your wife and like try to say what she says, and you're gonna." Yeah, it's not kosher therapy stuff. It's not like stuff you would actually do in therapy. It's
Okay.
like it's
Yeah,
like
I don't think
he's
I've
like
ever done that with my therapist. Not once.
well, and I will say it's set in like the 80s or 90s as well. It's like I believe it's set in the 90s, so it's not going to be like modern. Like I don't think therapists did that then necessarily either, but like it's definitely not set like modern, like
Gotcha.
2020s or even like after 2000. It's like solidly in the 90s. Um, and they're going through like the night where he like came home late from work, he was drunk and he like broke something in the house and his wife was pissed at him and kicked him out. And we get like from that interaction we see that like he's really angry about this, he's like pretty upset, he's got some anger issues, but ultimately he's just pissed because like his wife was like a college student trying to get a law degree, and he's like having to support them both in his like failing shitty furniture store while he was wanting to be an architect. That's what he went to school for, but he like isn't working as an architect. Um, and so that's all information we find out from like him in therapy. We quickly cut to him filming a commercial for his failing furniture store with his two employees. So he also texted me the names of Kat and Bobby, who are in it for a little bit. And he's filming like a goofy commercial where he's dressed as a pirate because it's loosely it's not super pirate themed, but for some reason he's dressed as a pirate in the commercial. It's funny. He breaks a chair. It's great. And they film an ad for that. He goes about his day. It follows a little bit of like the therapist character and some like flashbacks or memories and some like issues she's been having. But we don't go super into that. We just know that like something made her nervous at some point, and she might have like some kind of like an anxiety disorder, like anxiety attacks, something like that. But at some point, we cut to finding out that the dude has been living in his furniture store because like he's got all the furniture and his wife kicked him out of the house. Um, and so he's just like sleeping in like a bed there, watching like a TV he brought in. Um, and it had been having some like electrical issues, which he weirdly was like, "Yeah, it's just happening at night." And the guy's like, "Well, is that like a major issue if if stuff is turning off in the store at night?" And he's like, "Well, no, not necessarily, but I'd like to make sure that that's not happening." And it's because he's been staying in the store
Yeah.
for nights. But
How
he
do you
like
know
goes,
it's happening at night, by
yeah,
the
I don't
way,
know.
sir?
Um, but he tries to get that fixed, and when they're looking at, like, I think it's like the breaker for the store, there's like some weird like parts of it that shouldn't, like there's like breaker switches at like a weird angle installed strangely, and they can't figure that out, and they're like, that's weird. And so at some point he goes down and like fucks with that. All the lights go out, and as he's like going to go back, because there's like a basement to the store, as he's going to go back up to the empty, like, upper part of the store to presumably, I don't know, leave, get some lights, do something. He sees something like weird on a wall, and when he approaches it, he like phases through it, and he's in the back rooms.
Okay.
And he's like, "What the fuck is this?" Because he has this like furniture store, and he's like, "This is just like a room."
Through.
Well, he like walks up to the wall, and he like because there's like a weird visual thing he's seeing on the wall, and he's like, what the? So he's like feeling up on the wall, and as soon as he like feels like whatever part of the wall it is, it does this like TV static sound effect thing, and his hand like goes into it.
Okay, so
and he's
he
like
does phase
freaked out by that. Yeah.
This is not how I would have imagined the Backrooms.
No, I was surprised because I thought it was going to be more the first thing, where it's like found footage researchers or people like in there. This is like loser guy in his furniture store, like accidentally like blipping in there in the basement.
Yeah, I would have imagined like you said, there were some like weird like like breaker switches. I feel like I would have like okay, this is a spoiler for the Harry Potter game on the PS5. The Harry Potter game on the PS5. I was turning all kinds of around. There is a PS5 exclusive. Are you okay with the spoilers for this? Because you're not gonna play it because you're boycotting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that. No.
There's a PS5 exclusive mission for the Harry Potter game that I can't remember the name of. And basically the
exclusive mission is crazy, by the way.
Well, it's exclusive because the PS5 is able to do things that other consoles can't, meaning render things while you're not looking at them. So is that not so fucking awesome? So like it is a horror like game. Like input in there? Yes, it was so fun. It was so scary. Like if you would look away from a door, you would look back and the door is now gone. Like, or now it's a really long hallway, or this, that, and the other. It was like 10 out of 10 cinema. Like it was awesome. Best horror game I ever played, and it's freaking Harry Potter. But that's what I would envision, like the Backrooms, like, oh, he sees like all these, like, they're kind of like twisted or like they're upside down or something, and he's looking, and then like he looks back, and like now the whole wall is covered in it, and like and then like now there's a long hallway, like that kind of thing.
That's like a fear. That's like a genuine fear I have, is that like I'll get like a feeling that something is wrong, and I'll just like turn around and everything will be like different or incorrect.
Yeah,
that's a genuine thing that like really freaks me out.
It was awesome. It was. You should watch someone play that PS5 exclusive. I'll probably send you a video. It is so good.
If it has like a specific name, you should definitely let me know what it's called. But like, I will say the thing with the Backrooms is it's kind of like that, but like it doesn't matter where you look; it's all around you at all times. Like it's all just like stuff that's slightly wrong and like in varying degrees. But no, I will say the way I'm making it sound, maybe I'm not doing it justice, but like, because the whole thing is that it's like it's all of that like office building, endless, like that kind of a thing, but it's all like kind of wrong. It's kind of not correct. There's like architecture that doesn't make sense. It's like something that like a human would not build, because there's no like they wouldn't build it like that because it's not purpose built. It's just like it has the look of it without the understanding of why those things are built that way.
Like the AI generation, like before AI generation got really good.
Yeah, well, it's like it's like that, or like Uncanny Valley kind of, where it's like if you see like something is like not quite how it should look, or it's like purpose built wrong in a way that's like freaky. Like there's at some point I think there's like stop signs in a room like clipping into the walls and floor, but they're all like backwards. And like that's kind of freaky, because like how does that even like what, like this is not even like character filming it, this is like character looking at it, and it's just not correct. But Yeah, it's like basically on the breaker finds something that's like not correct and not how it's supposed to be. Like it's like leaking out into his store, and then like phases through a wall that he sees like some weirdness on into just like an area, and he's like drunk a little bit, or at least drinking and like trying to sleep in the store. So he's just like, oh, what the hell is this other room in my store?
Yeah.
What? And then he like looks back, just a plain wall. There's no like clear way for him back. So that's an immediate moment of like kind of freaking out. And
Uh huh.
obviously he's like, and then he like goes and he touches the same spot and he gets back through the wall. And after he does that a couple times to like make sure it's safe, he like walks back through and starts like just looking around and like trying to see if there's anyone there. Because there's just like a room, and obviously people in theater watching horror movie, you're like, I wouldn't do
No.
that. I wouldn't explore the
Yeah.
big
What?
open
No,
room.
I'm
But,
not
like,
going back in there.
this is just like a room that is pretty well lit, attached to his building that he just like walked directly into. That he like owns that, so he's probably like, what the hell is this? Like, is this connecting? Like, what is this? And
Do
he
I
just like
own
starts
this
walking.
too? I didn't
Yeah,
remember
is
purchasing
this my
this.
store? Like, what is this? And so he's walking through like trying to like see if he can figure out if like someone else is there, and he's like not a, like he's like calling like hello, like is anyone there? And he's seeing like kind of like weird shit as he's in there, like just the like I said, one of them is like a room where suddenly it's kind of dark past that, and there's like a stop sign at an angle
Yeah.
backwards, like randomly coming out of the ground indoors there. Some of the furniture not immediately obvious, but it's not built in a way that it would be. Like there's like two chairs stacked on top of each other, but they're like built into each other, and it's like
Okay.
weird, just
Like,
off, like
yeah.
slightly off stuff like that. Um, and he like leaves, and then at some point there's like a time skip, and he's like been there, like he's looking kind of disheveled. He's been there like all weekend trying to figure that out, uh, and so he like finds his employees who are like two people that live together, and he's like, I'll give you guys like overtime if you come like help me like take a look at this. Like we have to like figure this out. And they're like, is he going nuts? Like what's
Yeah.
happening? But if he's paying us, okay. And so he like brings them down to the basement of like
He's
the
paying us,
business,
sure.
and he's got like a backpack with like rope and shit, and he's like, these are supplies for we have to do like testing. And they're like, are you gonna like tie us up and kill us? He's like, no, we're gonna tie ourselves up. And they're like, and what he means presumably is like tie a rope around so that like
This is
if you're
very
going
D
and
and
like
D.
something is
Like,
wrong.
I
Yeah,
like,
he's not explaining it.
like I'm gonna hold the rope, and then you guys walk through and see if it's connected.
So he's reminded me via text that he also brings a map of like what he's explored to his therapist, saying like, I found this weird, like I found this
Oh,
place.
so he's still going to therapy.
Yeah, he's still going to. This is like a week later. He's like
Like,
gone to therapy, and
yeah.
he's like trying to explain this to her. But he broaches the subject by asking about like, have you ever had to like send someone to like being put in like a therapy hold where you're like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know
like
the name for it, but where you're like
institutionalized.
institutionalized. Um, and after that, then starts asking about it like as if he clearly knows it sounds insane.
Yeah.
Um, and like they kind of, I don't know if they like quite argue about it. But he was part of it was he wanted to get like proof for her. He wanted to get proof that he wasn't just like insane. He had like gone in and actually like seen that this is like a real place. So
Mm-hmm.
the dude that works for him still has the camera that they had used to film that like commercial for his store. So
Uh-huh.
that's why he was getting them. He's like, I need help exploring this, and you have a camera. Um, so he brings them in there, and they're immediately like freaking out. The dude is kind of like, okay, all right, and the girl's like, we need to leave. What is this? We need to
Yeah.
leave. We just walked through a wall. We need to leave. We
Mm-hmm.
we should not be here. Something is wrong. We need to leave. Um, and they end up walking to, and I think before this point, like when he was exploring an area, like he hears something breaking something and something chases him, but he manages to get back out. And he's like taped off the wall in his like his store and also on the other side so that you can see where you can get through there. Because when
Mm-hmm.
he was like running from the thing, he like gets
He's
to the wall and
and
just
he
runs
doesn't
into it,
know.
and
Yeah.
it's just wall.
Yeah,
And so
and
at
he's
first
like,
you're
oh
like, oh, he's
crap,
trapped,
which
he's dead,
part of
he's
the
gone.
wall is it?
But no, he gets back through and he's okay. And then he brings them in, and they're like, now it cuts to like found footage style. It's from the view of the camera that the guy's holding, which
Uh-huh.
immediately so much freakier the whole time.
Yeah.
And they go back to like an area where it's like a really steep section that he like lets the dude down into on a rope. And the whole time, um, the girl there is like, you should not do this. You absolutely should not do this. We should leave. But he like lowers him down, and immediately the like atmosphere is different. It's so much creepier. It's like Office but turned on its side, where like the wall is like ceiling where like the lighting is coming from, and then it's like cubicle built like from like the floor in like a really strange off-putting way, and there's like piles of clothes and stuff, and he's just like, I don't know, there's like clothes here. He finds the t-shirt he was wearing the previous day, um and as he's filming it, there's like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a mannequin or what, but there's like something like a face or something in the clothes that we were just like freaked out about.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I mentioned this to Carlos, but me and Zoe actually, during, because we're not really like scary movie people. During this, both of our hands ended up hurting by the end of the movie because we were like
Oh
holding
yes. Okay, I
each
got
other's
like
hands.
this with Obsession. I asked him after. I was like, "Did I not like rip your arm off?" He was like, "Oh, it's fine. Why?" And I was like, "I was literally like, I had to move my hands to like grip your shirt because I felt like I was digging my claws into your arm because I was so scared."
There's a lot of moments like that in this, but I'm gonna try to go through the rest of the plot a little bit more quickly because I see what I'm doing. We've gone through more time than I was anticipating for the Backrooms. But after they like go down into that weird, or like the one dude is down in that weird section, suddenly he like hears something else down there, and so he's like, you gotta like pull me up, and he like runs up this little like he climbs up out of this like steep section because it's still made of like carpet and like office walls, so he can like scramble up it. But he still has like the rope tied to him, and he scrambles up it before they manage to like pull him up on the rope. And he's like, I heard something down there, and suddenly the rope gets pulled taut, and he's being pulled down, and they can't like hold on to him. He just gets pulled down there, and they had tied it to like the post of like a bed that was in there, like a like bed frame and mattress that
Uh
was in
huh.
there. And the camera's sitting on that, and from there you see the rope go from slack on that end to taut, and the bed pulls both of the other two people down that as well. So then suddenly you just see streak of blood, guy getting pulled into like sideways door that's like slightly open on the thing, and then both of the other two characters just like the girl is trying to find a way to get to him and save him, and the other dude just like immediately like finds like it's like a loose panel or something and climbs into like the wall of it to like get the hell out of there.
Uh huh.
And after he climbs in there, it's like area between like drywall and a house kind of an area. But he gets out of that into like a very different looking section of it that I think is like tile and like a lot of like running water and stuff, and it's just very upsetting and off-putting. He's like hears them screaming, he's running, he's trying to get out of there. He eventually runs to, I think, arguably the scariest atmosphere-wise room in the entire thing, which is just like runs through a door to get away from whatever this thing is. And he's got the camera this whole time, so it's still like shaky camera,
Yeah.
like very freaky. He runs into a dimly lit room that is only lit by a Christmas tree fully decorated standing in the center of it. And there's just like partial bodies or mannequins like clipping through the floor and walls, and
Mhm.
it's playing like a Christmas like it's, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's like if you had like an ornament that was playing like a Christmas song, but it was like the battery was kind of dying.
Oh my gosh, I had a Barbie that I played with so much
Yeah.
until it started dying and it scared the shit out of me.
And so he like gets up there, and then like something else moves, and then suddenly something humanoid is chasing him. He's like running the fuck out of there. He runs into like an area where he can suddenly hear the girl again through the wall shouting to him, and she's like, I can see you, like, can you not see me? What's happening? And he's like, no, it's just like a wall here. And she's like, it's a window, I can see you through it.
Mhm.
And he sets the camera down
Ooh,
and is
that's
trying to
creepy
figure it
on its
out,
own. Cause
right?
it's
And
because like someone's watching you.
yeah, he sets the camera down and he's like trying to figure out how to get through that wall to her. And suddenly, you hear her start to freak out, and you see the camera start to get like lifted up by something,
Uh huh.
and then it cuts. And then it cuts to the therapist, who, like, some amount of days later, it's clearly been like an amount of time because I think it's like the um, what was I thinking? Like it's some time has passed. He has either missed a session or something, and she's like trying to call someone to figure out like, is he like, where is he? He like was
Mhm.
saying some weird stuff to me, and then just like didn't show up to the session, didn't make any kind of like a call or like anything. Um,
Hmm.
and she suddenly gets like a weird cryptic phone call from him on like a really grainy, hard to understand like line where he's talking about, because I guess she had like a therapy book that she put out or something, and there's like a commercial at some point on like one of them watching TV, and he like quotes something from that, like I've like opened the window or something weird like that, or like I've gone through the door or something, and she's like, what the fuck? And so at some point she goes to his like furniture store, because she like knows roughly like, okay, he has this furniture store, this, and sees that there's like mail piled up in front of the door, and is like, that's not good. And just like goes to like check that, and then the door is still unlocked and open because no one ever came back to like check on that, and it's like like dying furniture store in a dead mall. So she like opens the door and goes in and checks. And I will say, up till this point, I've kind of been like, I'm suspending my disbelief a little bit of these people going in here, but his therapist going in and like finding this like gateway to the back rooms and stuff. Like, while it's done very well, I'm like, this plot's kind of dumb. Like, this plot is in
Yeah,
service of like
that's like
vibes, like immaculate vibes, kind of dumb plot. Like, I can't be like,
when I was watching Obsession, I was like, okay, like when you're watching a horror movie, you kind of have to just accept blank.
well,
Like
they
you
make
have
kind
to
of poor
accept
decisions.
like certain amount of bullshit. Like I think that
Yeah.
just comes with the territory for horror
Mhm.
movies.
And then I'll go again. I'll try to speed through the rest of it. But after this point, she goes in there, and like at some point, like she's looking for stuff, finds like someone has painted something just freaky, like freaky ass, like child painting mural of weird shit on like one of the walls,
Hmm.
and it's super like, ugh. And then the dude is like the main that other main guy is like kind of like lurching from somewhere in there. Um, Clark, and she like sees him and like freaks out, and he's like, it's just me, it's just me. She's like, what the fuck is this, where are we, what is happening? And he's like, you need to keep your voice down. And immediately like vibes are bad, like something is very
So
wrong.
it
And
has
you can
spread into his furniture store.
no, she goes
Oh, she
down and
goes
like goes
into
into
the
it, like,
okay,
well, because she goes into the furniture store and is like, hello, like, is anyone
and she
here?
sees the
And then
tape
suddenly,
and like
well, she sees like a light flickering in the basement, and so she like goes down there and sees the tape, sees the
no,
map, sees all the
wrong,
shit,
no,
and then like
absolutely freaking out. Like
I think there's
I'm
like,
sorry, have you ever heard of a wellness check? Like hello.
I know, right?
I'm sure these
She's
people are
very
white,
seriously
and
checking
this
his
is like
wellness.
before like the whole police brutality, like because it's in like the 80s or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's set in like the '90s, early '90s,
Yeah, so like nobody's worried about police. This is pre 9/11. Like just do a wellness
yeah,
check.
right? She goes there solo, and
That's wild.
ends up like finding her way all the way through like back rooms to like where he is there, and is like telling her like he's like, it's only me, don't be afraid, it's just me. And then she starts talking to him, and he's like, you need to be more quiet, you gotta keep your voice down.
Mhm.
And you can hear something else somewhere nearby. A light goes out, and then he's like, I think again he like reiterates, don't worry, it's only me. And then she like looks down like the hallway, and he just like chokes her out, and you're like, what, why, what, okay. This, I will say, this is where the plot really lost me, of like, I don't think that, like, I'm not like, I don't get it, but I'm just like, I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb and tropey, because she wakes up tied to like a chair, and he's apparently gone insane and is just loving being in the back rooms. He's like failed architect who owns like a dying furniture store. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is my jam. Um, and I'm sure it was supposed to be like an intimidating, off-putting. I mean, it was intimidating and off-putting because
Mhm.
she's tied to a chair and he's got like, what's up? Are you streaming right now? Yeah, I'm doing the podcast. What's up? We'll cut that out. Okay, you can show me later. Do you know where he walked into the frame so we can cut there, and I
Oh,
can start talking about back
you just
or
go.
whatever that is. Just keep going. What was it freaky, off-putting? But it was, for me, the thing that I was thinking was, this feels very, if anyone's seen Tropic Thunder, where the main dude is like lost out in the woods and he's like, I am nature now, and like it's very unserious as like a like playing off of that trope. It just kind
Mhm.
of felt like that trope again to me. Like he's like, I'm loving being in the back rooms because I have the unique background that would be the only person that would like being here. A failed architect that owns a dead furniture store. Like, okay. Um, and there's like these like people in the room that are just like static and not moving, but they're like slightly incorrect, kind of like the furniture and stuff. And there's a whole super weird scene where he's trying to do that therapy. He's trying to run that therapy session back, and
Sorry,
it's
both of
like,
my cats are next to me, which is very strange for them.
oh my god,
I've
you have a
got
cat?
Shovel
Get one
on
on the
my
screen for
left and Prim on my right. Like, the
pick
amount
them
of
up.
times they both come up to me is like approximately 0% of the time.
Well, in 17 minutes, they're going to be wanting food, just like Nugget. So
Yeah, I think that's the cause of it, but like, I don't know why. They don't do this while I'm. They don't do this. Anyway, continue.
now I'll actually zoom through the plot because I think I've been going the same pace, even though I'm saying that like it's going to be the same. Basically, he does some weird freaky shit. She's like, listen, if you don't want to change, you don't have to. You can maintain being like a weirdo who lives here. Like that's fine. And then we get our first like actually seeing the monster thing that's been like chasing
Okay.
people around down here and killing people. Um, and it's a really freaky scene because like a version that I think it's supposed to be his like wife that kicked him out, but is like incorrect. Like starts screaming and freaking out and runs into like the corner of the room
Mm-hmm.
as this like big lurching thing like shambles into the room and he's talking very calmly to it. And when the camera like shows it, it's like a fucked up version of like him dressed as the pirate for like the advertisement for his store, but it's like a big like really like the limbs and face and stuff aren't right, so it's just like a big fucked up weird version of him, and it like attacks him while he's trying to like calm it. And that the woman manages to his therapist manages to like break free and is like running from this thing
Okay,
that is
so
like
the weird version of him is not
yeah
the one that captures her, or it
that captures
is.
her.
Does it?
We're not sure if it's the thing that's killed everyone else in there, but it seems likely that it killed like his two employees and was the thing chasing him as well.
Okay, but him
Although
himself, he likes being there now.
he likes being there and he's talking to it like he like they have some kind of an understanding or like he thinks that it's going to listen to him. Um,
Okay.
and it literally just like picks him up and you can't tell at first if it's going to like hug him or what, but it just like takes a bite out of him. And when he starts screaming and hitting it, he like it kills him basically. It's fucked up and weird. I didn't care for it. I was like, all right, this is weird. Um, and he so it's the therapist is running from like a fucked up version of like her patient guy that was going insane already. And she runs through a pretty scary sequence of like backrooms shit. Like one of them is just like office building backrooms section, but if you like took a big chunk out of that, so it's just like open down who knows how far, and she has to go on like a very precarious staircase up through like a hole in the ground. Finds herself back in the furniture store and she's like, okay, I can get out, and like is running, gets to the front of it, and it turns out it's like a fucked up version of the entire furniture store
Mm-hmm.
that like built itself in there. um but she finds some weird shit that was like in a previous scene where it's like a person like a not a mannequin but it's like a standee of like a person with like a microphone on it that's like playing messages in different languages. We've seen it like one other time in the film. And then when that gets like fucked up during that thing chasing her, sprays a bunch of gas, knocks her and that thing out. They have like one little struggle where she like fights it off a little bit, and then whatever this organization is comes in and like gets her to safety and is like trying to interview her after that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
because they were like exploring and there were the hazmat
yeah,
people.
yep, and they
Okay.
like they're like, who the fuck is this? Like, how is she in here? And they're like, the ending of it is like them interviewing her. Big spoilers here if you've been like so far, like I don't care about spoilers to this point, but they're like interviewing her, and it's unclear if they're still in the back rooms or if this is like their office somewhere. It seems like it's probably their office somewhere, but it's definitely done in such a way that like she looks up through windows, but it's not like she's not ever at eye level seeing that she's outside yet. Um, and important thing for like some of her backstory, her mom was like a hoarder and she was like kept inside a lot as a kid, so she has like a weird relationship with um whatever the fear of being indoors is. I don't know what that one
Mhm.
is. I know agoraphobia. It's like the reverse of that.
Okay.
So she's got
Huh.
like a weird relationship with like these kinds of spaces, and they play off of that earlier in the film and like with that somewhat. But basically, she's just trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Where am I? Am I going to be okay, or are like what's going to happen to me now? Like that I was in there and you guys took me out of it. And they have some spiel where the guy's like, I don't know what that place is, but I think it might be the most important thing in human history. And I think that's dumb. I think that's a dumb line, and I think that's bad writing. Um, but the ending of it cuts to like a backrooms version of the room where she's being interviewed with like a fucked up backrooms version of her just like sitting at the desk alone. And I think that's a cool ending. I like that. Um, but I will say I didn't particularly care for like a lot of the plot after the dude went insane in there. And I think that this movie would have really, really benefited from never clearly showing the monsters or the fucked up
Yeah.
people in there. Like they should have always been shrouded in shadow. We should have never gotten a clear look at them. Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought the big fucked up pirate version of him looked silly as fuck. It made me laugh at certain points because it just looks goofy as shit. Um, but I saw, as I was saying, the uh, Everything Must Go edition, which it's called that because the furniture store, dying furniture store, everything must go signs. Um, and after the credits, they've turned the lights back on in the theater. Suddenly, found footage film starts up again, and it's just like three dudes that are like part of that like corporation or whatever exploring a section of like the backrooms area, and it's done as like a scientific log. So they're like, we found these everything must go signs, like these distances, and it's a very in-depth, detailed like analysis of like the spacing between them in this room and all this stuff that's like done very like how I would expect like a scientific log to go in like this kind of a situation.
Hmm.
Um, and it devolves into the one guy's like, I think at this distance there should be one behind this wall and behind that wall. So they cut like a section of wall out as the one guy's like, we've already gone over our time here. We should probably leave and we can come back with more tools and people to check this out. And they're like, oh, we found another one. So it is like it is generating these signs in like a weird way. And he's like, I wonder, there's another wall here. Can we go through there? And he's like, we should really leave. We should really not go through here. Uh, and they cut through it, and it seems like it's like the back rooms in the process of building new rooms, and it's like completely dark, no lights, like almost empty version of like that guy's furniture store, like slowly being like built in there.
Hmm.
And so they're like looking at stuff and they're like, oh, everything must go. There's like nothing here. What is everything? What is this place that it's building here? As this one dude keeps saying, like, guys, we should leave. Guys, we shouldn't be in pitch black. We have our samples. We should just leave. And then like you hear like the stomping of like the monster, and
Hmm.
camera cuts as one of them is being like possibly eaten or attacked or something.
Yeah.
And that was a phenomenal sequence. And all that made me think was that section of it and that first section of it where it was like the guy lost in there. Um, oh, hello. Oh my God, is that Shovel?
Yes, it
Hello,
is.
Shovel.
Double
Um,
boy, he's been
I
a good
would
boy.
with Weedy. I would watch an endless amount of that kind of video though if they came out with like a bunch of those as like short form content. Like I would literally watch those endlessly. I thought those were so good. It that felt much more in the line of like SCP Foundation stuff or like when people make like fan films of it. But it was so well done and so like the production was really good. And while I was shitting on the plot of like the actual like movie, I understand for like a horror movie, they have to introduce the concept. They have to because not everyone seeing this knows what the fuck the Backrooms is. It's like
Hmm.
a weird internet thing. Which can I just say again, the fact that it was just like a post on the internet that then became like a whole movie, that's so cool. I'm so stoked about
Yeah, yeah.
that.
When was that posted?
Oh, let me try to find that really quick. I'm just gonna pull that up really quickly. I have another image. Oh, I've been blinded by the
I see
harsh light of
that.
Wikipedia. 2019.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what's really cool about it is like that's pretty modern. Where like the thing before that was I guess like Slenderman, and there's always been like Jack the Ripper or whatever the hell, or the weird like
That's not the real one.
eyes
That's a guy
to
that murdered people like 200 years
yeah
ago.
no the well the I don't know the one with the
Jeff the
weird
Killer is the
eyes.
one you're
That
thinking
one's
of.
the one that I'm thinking of for sure. Is there
Like
a
that's
Jeff
just
the
an
Killer
actual
movie?
silly. Fuck no, that would be terrible. I would still probably see it, but that would be so bad.
I think
Have
this
you heard
opens
that
up.
story?
No,
It's
God, no. I
yeah,
am
it's
such a
so dumb.
baby when it comes to like anything scary.
Oh, you should look up these creepy pastas. They're not
Oh
scary.
no,
They're like
absolutely
poorly
not.
written. They're bad.
I
I'll bring them as a
all
topic one of
creepypastas
these
scare
days.
the ever loving shit out of me.
It's so funny. I was watching a YouTube video earlier today where someone was talking about like, and this one was dumb. So I obviously didn't fall for this. And I'm like, I remember as a kid thinking this was not even as a kid. I was in college when these were big, so I remember being like, "That's crazy." And
Yeah.
I'm like a college student, like, and this guy's like, "When I was a kid, I didn't believe this for a second." And I was like,
Yeah, me
"Oh
neither.
man." But there's one more point I wanted to make about the Backrooms. That's just it's going to be an image that, Jason, if you can put this up, I'll send you this one. But there is an image that I associate with like the fear that I have, or like the thing that gives me fear in like the concept of the Backrooms, and it's a picture of like an old like house or hotel room that has some kind of like weird liminal elements in it, and it just has the text on it that says you can easily return to the past, but no one is there anymore, and the like person that was being photographed in it is like TV static out of it, so there's like no person in the image.
Mhm.
And there's something about the idea of that, like places that you know or recognize, but like wrong or incorrect or devoid of like the things that made them a place. Like
Mhm.
it was like I think the thing where I was like, oh, scary is like picture like I'm like picture my childhood home, or like anyone picture your own childhood home, but like pitch black, no one there, nothing there that you recognize. Like things are wrong. Like it's a
Oh,
freaky
it's
like
that's how my
it's a
dreams are.
freaky vibe.
But like
That's
they're
I
not
literally was talking to
freaky.
Zoe. It's like
In my dreams, like I'm in my childhood
yeah,
house, but then also I'm at school, like my the school I grew up in, but it's also connected to like my college, or like just stuff like
yes,
that.
yeah. It's
Like
it's
it's kind of
things
like
that
how
you.
you
It's like
dream.
memories of places that have like, and I think it's a good, and they definitely try to go for that. Like even in the plot, like the characters talk about it like this a little bit, where it's like the vibe that like that image or like the original Backrooms image or like that kind of like fear or horror goes for is like being trapped in like your own thought, like incomplete thoughts or memories of places, because like my dreams are like that too. Like I'll dream of like it's my grade school, but it's attached to my high school, and like
Mm-hmm.
the rooms are not correct, or something is like longer than it should be, like weird like that. But that, and then the looking back at something and having it be like different or changing while it's
Mm-hmm.
outside of
I'm
your
gonna
peripheral,
send you the Harry Potter
definitely
thing.
do.
It's so cool.
Those two in tandem is how like if I have a nightmare, that's how it goes. Like if I have like if a dream of mine turns into like it is now a nightmare, one of those two things or both happen. And so there's like a watching parts of the Backrooms, even if like the plot's dumb and the big goofy pirate monster's not very scary, like
Mm-hmm.
parts of the construction of it and just how it looks when the characters are having to like run through it to get away from stuff. There's like a primal like
The
fear
way
that it
you're
evokes in me of
explaining it,
that.
it sounds
That
like
just
content warning. You remember the game we all played together?
yes, yeah, it's a lot like it's like that, but the rooms are like more familiar, but like built incorrectly in a way that's like it is very much like that, where it's like it's I mean it's not black and white, but that's kind of how I picture it, as like this like dream turning to nightmare is just
Kent,
like a
you're hurting me.
black and white fucked up version of like thing that I remember. Um, so I thought the vibes are immaculate of the movie. I would strongly recommend it to anyone that likes um, is either familiar with the backroom story, likes that kind of stuff, likes horror movies that are a little unserious, anything like that. I mean, it takes itself as seriously as it does. The
Mm-hmm.
big goofy pirate monsters, fine. It's not that scary. It
It's
is
what it
pretty scary
is.
when it's coming after people, but like seeing it in full, it's just kind of funny. Like it's just goofy looking. But I would strongly recommend it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great, and I'm just stoked that something like that can happen. We had like the YouTuber Markiplier made like an actual Hollywood film as well.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that one yet, but I think he made it like purchasable on YouTube, and he's trying to get physical media of it. And I know if he does, we're getting it on DVD or Blu-ray immediately. That's the goal, because we really
That
want
would
to
be
see
really
that as well.
cool.
But it feels kind of like a similar thing, even though this was like a bigger studio did this. But I've yapped about this for the full hour of time we normally take. Do you want to talk about, at the very
I
least,
do want to
one
go
of your
into
topics now?
Obsession.
Yeah, let's hear about
Okay.
Obsession.
So me and Carlos went to see Obsession. It was 10 out of 10. Would 100% recommend. Even if I'm spoiling everything for you, I think you should still watch it. So I'll tell you. Okay, so it starts with
Should
like
we
a group
start
of.
the spoilers for Obsession right now?
Yeah, it's just gonna be full spoilers. Um, so we have four friends. Nikki, Bear. I think his full name is Baron. But Nikki, Bear, dumb white guy, and Sarah. Don't remember
Okay.
dumb white guy's name. And Sarah. And they're like at a bar and they're hanging out and blah blah blah. And well, the movie actually starts with like Bear talking to dumb guy and is like, I don't know how I'm gonna get her, or like I don't know how I'm gonna, like I just poured my heart out. Like he's like practicing confessing his love to Nikki.
Okay.
And so now we're in the bar. And it's that night, and he's like, and dumb friend is like, don't confess to her on trivia night. Like pick any other night.
Because like we need to win trivia. We need to be locked in.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Copy.
so any other night, and all we have to do is time, or all we have is time, and then Nikki tells him, well, actually, I'm quitting. So these four friends turned out to all be working together. So she tells you like, or she tells him like, oh, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. Like I don't think I can do this anymore. And then you find out later like, oh, these four people are all friends because they all work together. They're all co-workers at this like music record shop. Not important. It showed like twice.
Not like the dead furniture store that is like most of where the movie happens. That's not like a fucked up space.
Yeah. So and then he calls her, like he's like talking to her like all night and like making eyes with her, and like he's like trying to work up the courage to like tell her that he really likes her. And then she tells him like, oh, my crystal necklace broke, like whatever, on the phone. And so he goes to this like think Earthbound. He goes to like an Earthbound. You know Earthbound?
Uh,
It's like a place in the mall that sells like, it's like the hippie place. Like it sells like crystals
sure.
and like.
Oh my god! Can I go off on a very small tangent with
Yes.
that? I love like crystals and like different like cool minerals and like rocks and gems and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just think they look really cool, and
Yeah.
so I'm like not enough of an expert to know like cool information about them. I'm just
Like
like,
how people
ooh,
charge
this one
them and
looks
stuff.
pretty.
Yeah.
Oh well,
I just
and
like pretty
I will
rocks.
tell you, I don't subscribe to the like
Oh,
the
yeah, for sure.
magic part of
I
it.
mean, I'm
Um,
not either.
But I will say the funny thing is, if you go into the shops that have them because they're like, this is an interesting specimen of this rock,
Mm-hmm.
they will be very expensive. But if you go into a shop where someone's like, use this to realign your your chakras or
Yeah.
whatever, way cheaper, way cheaper. And I
So
hate that
funny.
because they're like, they'll be like, this one's for this and this one's for this, and I'm like, they're all going to go in my cabinet because they're cool looking rocks
Yeah.
that don't have any magic. I wish they did. That would be cool, but I don't think so. I don't think.
One thing I think I would believe just from my own like life experience, my dad went to Washington and bought like me a bag of amethysts, and they're so pretty. I wish I had them. I might have to go to my childhood home and grab them. They are just like, they were just like some of my prized possessions, and I would always like, I would get them out and just touch them for a little bit, and then like put them back in the baggie, and like they make me like emotional thinking back at them. It was just like, I'm just like a gift giving like girl, so like it was just sweet that my dad bought me something in Washington while he was truck driving. Whatever. I have to keep letting him in and out because he just keeps like,
Shovel.
yes, he just keeps breaking down the door to get in, breaking down the door to get out.
It might be on the audio, but Nugget's food went off, and he just absolutely he roadrunnered up to it at maximum speed.
Yeah. So anyway, so she says her necklace breaks, her crystal necklace, and so he's like, oh, okay, and then he goes to like an Earthbound basically, and he goes in and he looks for a necklace, and he's like, do you have one for like good vibes? And she's like, oh, here's this one. He's like, no, Nikki wouldn't like that, and he puts it down, and then he sees the One Wish Willow, and the One Wish Willow is like a collector's item. They don't actually work, or they do actually work. I don't know, but basically you break it and you say your wish, and then whatever.
Mhm.
And so he doesn't get her necklace. He buys the One Wish
Yep.
Willow. And then they're hanging out again or something. I don't know. I'm getting everything like all kinds of mixed up, but whatever.
Oh, I was probably doing that for Backrooms as well.
Yeah. And he's driving her home, and he like wants to confess, but he can't figure it out. And so then she like gets out of the car and is like, "Bye, good night," and he's like, "Bye," and he leaves. And then he's like, "Oh, like stupid, stupid, stupid." I will say this is gonna get me effing canceled. He is literally Sykkuno energy throughout the entire thing. He is Sykkuno. I noticed it from the beginning, just the way he talks, his like anime boy, like,
Oh my God.
I shouldn't. Oh man. Oh, why did
Should I
not
tell you what
her?
Zoe
Like,
referred to that type of horror movie or that type of scary movie as when we were talking about it last night?
What?
And she's like, I don't know if I want to watch it. And she's like, I called it like this wave of, it's like incel horror movies.
Incel horror.
So when you say that, I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah. He's so unlikable. She's like, oh, why didn't I tell her? God, I'm so stupid. And then he like reaches in and he breaks the One Wish Willow, and he's like, I wish Nikki would love me more than anyone else. And then like horror frame of her, literally like this outside of, but like it's dark and you can just see like her silhouette, and she is on her front porch like this, and like in the background,
Like turns around, or like suddenly is just like.
Yeah, I think she comes back out. So she goes, I'm literally getting chills. Like I just get so scared so easily.
She's just like there.
Yeah, so like she goes in her house and then she comes back out and she's like standing like this, and like it's just a black like silhouette of her, but she's back there because the camera work is so good. It's
Seen it in the
like
promotional materials.
Yes, it's just a 10 out of 10 movie. Like the camera work is great. And so then she's like standing, and then she comes back and she starts acting like fucking weird. She's like, do you want to come inside? Like, or whatever. And then she's like, she just starts being like batshit. And like, she's like flipping, like flipping, but it feels like she's like flipping between two people. Cause she's like, I don't know why I said that. And she's like, anyway, I'm gonna go inside. She's like, are you coming in with me? And then like eventually, she's like, I'll go with you. How about I go with you? And he takes her to his house, and then he's like, this is weird. And then she like takes her clothes off, and he's like, oh, Nikki, like you really shouldn't be doing this, haha. Like very Sykkuno energy. And then but still gets into the bed with her, and even though he's like, oh no,
Like, oh, don't do that.
yeah. And then like they start like like jump scare.
Yeah, you don't gotta
like,
go into detail.
No, jump scare. It was such a well-placed jump scare. Like they're about to like get into it, and me and Carlos get ready to like roll our eye. I look like I'm ready to look away, because that's just what me and Carlos always do. Because we're not like, we don't care.
He's like,
about,
this isn't like car crashes videos.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we don't care about sex scenes. So I'm like, they're about to have sex, like whatever. And I go to roll my eyes, boom, and I'm like, oh shit, and like. Yeah, and like she's on the floor, I don't even know, and so then he's like, what the hell, Nikki? Like you scared the shit out of me. And she's like, oh sorry, like I'm sorry. Like I thought I saw something, I'm so sorry. Like, and like it's a lot of that. And then they start like dating. There's like really cute, like it looks like kind of like home video clips of them like baking together and just being a cute couple. And then like after a while, the relationship starts to like dissolve, and like there's a really, like, you might have heard this TikTok audio is super popular. The no, don't do that.
Maybe.
That is from Obsession.
That.
I did not know that was from Obsession. But they're sitting at the dinner, and he says something, and she like gets up and she's screaming, and like in the restaurant she's screaming, and he's like, no, everything's fine, everything's great, everything's fine actually, and like tries to like get her to chill out.
Yeah.
And so it's progressively more Nikki's being psycho because he's like not giving her 100% of his attention, kind of thing. And then it's like a lot of that. It just progresses. They go to a party and they're playing like drink or Jenga. I don't know. It's like a Jenga, like drink or truth or dare.
You
Truth
ever
or
play
drink.
Drink or Jenga?
It's a truth or drink, but it's like written on the Jengas. It's really cool. It actually sounds really fun. Like I would definitely play that. But he's like, so you can drink or read the cube, the block out loud. And so for some idiotic reason, because Bear is who he fucking is, he reads it out loud and is like, kiss the person to your left. And the person to his left is Sarah, that I mentioned earlier. And Nikki obviously is fucking pissed, and so she like gets up and like goes over and like pulls Sarah's chair, like pulls it back and sits in Sarah's chair, or gets in front, whatever, like gets in front, and so he like has to kiss Nikki. Sure. Anyway, yeah, like his friend did not want him to go to the party because he's like, honestly, Bear, it's kind of fucking weird. Like Nikki's kind of like going through something. Like it just seems like all of a sudden she's into you out of nowhere. It just feels like something like is going on with her family or something. And he's like, yeah, her dad's dying of cancer. Like, because Nikki does tell him, like, and they're like, yeah, but Nikki doesn't even like her dad. She's not close with her dad. I don't think she would be sad that he had cancer. I don't think she would really give a fuck. And, anyway, so that's kind of like where they are at with their friends. Like their friends are like, I don't approve of you guys dating because she was like not into you, and now all of a sudden she's all over you. And then they kind of think like, is she taking advantage of you? Like, because they don't understand like what's going on.
That it was like a wish from like
that was my thing too.
Store.
I'm like, okay, like there is this level of buy-in that you have to do. Like,
well, it's they're not. None of them are Columbo. They're not going to stumble upon this being the reason. They will not figure this out without.
Yeah. I was like,
even though it sounds like right now I'm like, man, I would be so frustrated with like them not being able, because it'd be like, there's no, how could they figure it out unless he tells them, how the fuck would they know?
Yeah,
and just even actually know that's why. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then so there's that. There's like the scene where she's in the bedroom and she's in the corner of the bedroom in the dark and it's fucking scary. Yeah, and then she like moves all crazy, like she moves backwards, like as if they like reverse the video, but like it looks like, and I literally scared the shit out of me. Her like moving backwards.
Fair.
Like as if they're reversing the video, but I don't think they did. I think she just like moves like that, like, which is really cool. Whatever they did.
Well, there are ways you can do video reverse that looks really good though. Too.
Yeah,
that's also possible.
Like I'm getting like flashbacks in my face right now with my actual eyes, and I'm scared. Anyway, so like she just gets like crazier and crazier. Biggest spoiler. Are you okay with the biggest? I don't have to say the biggest spoiler.
I mean, if you don't want to, but
are you gonna watch
it does. The problem is, I don't think Zoe wants to watch it, so I don't know. I wouldn't watch it by myself.
You wouldn't watch it by yourself.
I don't know a context where I would watch it.
Yeah,
but I do.
Okay.
You're making me want to watch it by describing it.
So good. It is a 10 out of 10. Okay, so biggest spoiler.
Leave the video if you don't want the biggest spoiler, and then come back to it.
Yeah, he gets a text from Sarah because Sarah's like, I'm really worried, like things are really weird, and he like goes and sits in her car with her, and she hasn't been getting into like throughout the movie you see like she's not getting into colleges. She has one last college that she can get into, and she's like, let's open it together, and he's like, okay.
Oh, these are high school friends?
Huh?
These are like high school friends?
I don't think they're high schoolers, but because they seem older. They seem like adult friends. But like young adult. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, she is trying to, I think she's just, I mean, you can get into art school at
So
one
to
point.
get texting me like, we can watch it just
You
when I'm
can.
in not in theaters with like when I have my pets
I
here to
think
hold.
it's yeah. I think it's okay. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil this scene then.
Are you sure you can?
No,
That's
I'm not gonna
okay.
spoil it because you guys
Uh,
have to watch it. It is
okay.
so good. Um.
I
Anyway,
spoiled
yeah.
probably everything from the Backrooms, but I don't think that it has any plot moments that are as
Yeah, no,
like.
it's got some really big plot moments. Okay, and then the ending is like really good. So yeah, I'll just stop right there.
Okay.
So from there on is like the
Big story.
climax and then the
Okay.
resolution. And the climax and the resolution are so immaculately done. Um but yeah, it's like this thing, and then just like I haven't seen any bear defenders, like the guy.
Yeah,
Um
I think it would be hard to defend that because
Yeah,
it's out.
apparently, like people are saying that people are on Bear's side, but I like personally have
You're like, I
not
haven't
seen
seen a
them. I
single one
have,
of them.
which maybe I've just curated my algorithm to be Nikki
Yeah.
supporters, but like I really haven't seen a single Bear supporter. I know that they
Mhm.
exist. I have not seen one.
Like they
Um,
got to be out there somewhere. Don't know where,
but
but they're out
yeah, it's just oh my god, I cried. I got nauseous for 8 hours after
there.
that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so after that car scene, and then there's another because I have like trouble with like people like swallowing things, like that kind of gives me a gag reflex.
Oh.
Um,
Oh, it's like I can't watch eyes. Like anything happening to someone's eyes, I can't watch.
okay, yeah,
In
yeah,
like
yeah.
horror movies or anything. Like I
Yeah.
literally
Oh, like
have to
Baldur's
avoid.
Gate when they put the thing in your eye. I
Oh, yeah, I
literally
don't like it. I don't
I
like it.
couldn't
Yeah,
watch the
I
beginning of
can't.
Baldur's Gate, and so then I'm missing plot because I couldn't watch the beginning of
You're like,
Baldur's
yeah, I don't
Gate.
know what happened.
Yeah, no, no,
We've got a
I'm
parasite apparently.
assuming that there's a parasite in my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did get nauseous for like 8 hours because anyway. Yeah. So and I cried like 3 times throughout the movie because I just felt for Nikki so much. She is an amazing actress. She does a great job of like there were moments where I was like, oh, I've said that. Oh, I've done that. And like throughout the movie, Carlos is like, that's you. That's you. Because
Oh my!
she's like,
There
I'm
was
watching you sleep. You're so cute while you sleep. And I'm like, that's me. That's
there
me.
was there was a moment where we were both like, "That's you" for Zoe, and it was when the characters were going to go into like he was like bringing them into the back rooms. I'm trying to look up the character names again real quick. The younger two, Kat and Bobby, and Kat's like, "No, we are not the fuck going here. No, you are not tying a rope around yourself and going down there. Like we need to leave so our like boss doesn't kill us or get us killed here. Like what the
Uh-huh.
fuck?" We're not going to a weird dimension he discovered in the fucking furniture store. And we're both like, that's you. That's you here. You'd be the
Yeah.
one. Because on the one hand, I was like, well, on the one hand, I do understand exploring this weird
No,
location you
I
found.
don't.
Um,
And I just effing don't.
she's shouting, fuck no, from the other side of the basement. But she's like, no, no, absolutely not. No.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm like getting nauseous like all over again.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I just felt so. I was crying. I was nauseous. Like it was such a like good movie for like bringing out like emotions in you.
Yeah.
Like oh, it's just such a thinking movie. Like you just like want to talk about it with for like hours. Me
Yeah.
and Carlos have talked about it multiple times, like and remember when this and like they do such a good job of like dropping things throughout the movie to little
Yeah.
breadcrumbs. Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs. Haha, lol. uh that's a little Easter egg for you after you watch it to think, haha, Mia said breadcrumbs, that's so funny. Hee hee.
I'll keep it in my mind, perhaps, or I'll forget one of the two.
um
Well, it's interesting because I don't think they do anything too much like where you're like, oh, the callback to this, or like it's good I remembered this thing in like the Backrooms movie. There's some moments that are like things you could definitely miss. I think that are like it was stuff where I'm like, oh, interesting, okay, but like none of it is like I think when we were looking up, like trying to figure out, like, okay, does this version have the extra footage? When are we seeing that? When is it happening?
yeah.
And trying to look that up, there was stuff where it was like you know, a Reddit post that's like, the ending of this movie explained, and I'm like, I don't feel like I need anyone to explain
Yeah,
this. It was
I
pretty plainly obvious, like, what was happening. I don't know. Like, it's not really reading subtext, it's just reading the text. Like,
yeah, no, there's a lot of
it's not very
subtext.
complicated.
It was such a good movie.
Mhm.
That's the thing is, like, I only see, like, 10 out of 10 movies. I do not go to the movies to see a fucking shit-ass movie. So, like, I
A 9 out of
already...
10, you're like, shit from the butt. Shit from the
Shit from the
shit ass
butt.
movie.
Yeah, no,
Um,
highly recommend. That's my topic. We will do my topic next week because I'm sure it'll
yeah,
still be like...
the other two topics that we had, we can definitely definitely do next week. Before you cut it off though, I realize you gave this a 10 out of 10. I have to give Backrooms a score out of 10. I think if I'm giving it an aggregate score of like everything, it's probably like a 7 out of 10. But that is because the vibes, 10 out of 10. They nailed it. That is the Backrooms. It was so scary to see it. It was so freaky. Ugh. The plot, like a 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna try to do
It
Nikki's
was fine.
face. She's got a face. She goes,
Oh, do it.
"Oh, I can't." No, my mouth doesn't
Wait.
go down.
Hold on, not that face. There was another face we were doing earlier that we can end the episode off on.
I can't do her. My face doesn't go down like that. Oh,
We just go back to mewing to end the episode.